when I want to get, we went through this process before, boom, 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 I got over here. When I want to attack that Kimura, it's not going to be easy for me to peel off his hand. He's not going to just leave it here for me. He's defending, right? And even though I might switch my arms, I'm going to have a hard time getting, maybe I can muscle it off, but in reality, if I just face it, now like I'm putting more pressure on Aiden and I have some space. Now I can battle for that wrist. He can't use his other hand, I can get the wrist. Maybe it's all I got. Maybe his elbow is not bent, maybe I'm not able to get my hands together, but I use my whole body, the hip switching back, to drop that hand to the ground and make my grip. Now I have that basically perfect box. Now we switch our hips again. We switch our hips again. It's all about exposing that arm. I'm being loose and getting it off the ground. When I keep it nice and tight to me and I do that, it submits him right away. All right, but we have to have that switching to expose it and switching back and to finishing it. Okay, keep going. So, I'm going to do it from closed guard first because I think the closed guard is going to give you guys the best mechanics of learning the initial Kimura from the bottom. But I believe that half guard will be probably one of your most best attacking options. Actually, a really good fight this weekend in Rio. I forget what fight. Philo hit half guard Kimura, turned it into a sweep, nasty finish at UFC last week. It's pretty cool. Okay, so when we want to attack the Kimura or omoplata, I want to get Aiden's hands on the outside of my body. I want to have inside, I want his hands outside. Ideally, I love to have his hands on the mat. So simple way to do it, if Aiden is in good posture, I'm having a hard time keeping my guard and pull him down, I'm gonna hunker down to my heels, get my butt up, try to make a clear path, get my hands underneath, and then I'm gonna think about pulling my knees to one shoulder and reaching for his head, and I get him down, okay? Now I'm gonna choose the shoulder. I'll make it easy for you guys. You can push his head over to the side you want, because we're going nice and slow. Now, I'm gonna attack this arm. I put my left foot on the mat. I want to use this foot combined with my right elbow to rock my body up. My butt is off the ground right now. I'm pinching on Aiden's hips so I have some control. And then my top arm is going to weave over. Now, since I'm up in the ground, I have no grip. As I settle my weight butt back down, my right thumb comes to his wrist. My then left hand grabs my own wrist. I settle my weight back, and then as I'm settling my weight back, I think I'm pulling Aiden's elbow to my shoulder, like pulling my elbows to my chest, and then windshield wipering this foot. Look at that again. I was here, I pull, and windshield wiper. I should feel like I've gotten perpendicular to my opponent, and that his elbow is packed into my shoulder. Now, just like before, I add torso rotation. I think about putting my left elbow in Aiden's ear, and he submits. He can take this pretty well. But by packing it and adding rotation, he taps. So process again. Prayer position. Bring him up, pass the head over, put on the ground. I dig in the ground with my right elbow. Get my butt up off the ground. Weave through, fall back down, grab his wrist, and finish. I like starting off that feel of the Kimura. I think it really teaches you to go after it, get your butt up off the ground. Later turns into a sweep. But let's start with that. Questions? So that's a big deal when we're submitting things. If his arm is straight, obviously we're going for straight arm locks. But when we do Kimuras, if his arm gets too close to his body and it's bent, it's actually easier for him to defend. Some guys can do crazy shit, grab their own arm behind them. All right. When we're doing Kimuras, go to the ground now. I want you to think about you're creating a box. That I have a, 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. I'm not collapsing the box at all. That makes it easier for him. If I feel the box is too long, I have to pull it tight. So I'm bringing my elbows in and rowing. I'm bringing all my hands in his hand closer to my chest. I keep that box. If I put it here, it's going to be, I'm still strong enough to probably do it. Yeah, but if I elongate it, I just felt the tension in Aiden's arm change, and it's much simpler rotation. You guys can prove this yourself. Start here. You'll feel your buddy's arm get lax. I will open it, and you feel it gets much tighter. That's telling you where to submit, and you push into it. You have to keep that elbow tight to the body or tight to your shoulder, and you have to try to keep that arm at that 90-degree angle. That's the proper lever that makes things break. All right, go. Do you believe that you have the strength and ability to just reach over someone's arm and grab it and submit it? I don't, and I'm bigger than most of you, okay? So, in order to get the arm, we have to go after it. Put this anchors to the hip. I'm gonna put it on the ground really quick. But you're gonna push off and rock up on that elbow. Now I have mobility and height to go after that arm. I'm never gonna be like, oh cool, Kimura. It doesn't work like that. You'll try and fail. Get your butt up off the ground. Attack the arm. It'll be easier. Go. Play a little games around it. So, half guard by far is my favorite place to attack a Kimura, both from a losing position and an attacking position. So if I'm in an attacking position, I'm using a knee shield half guard. And just like I did right now, I'm cheating myself towards this arm because that's arm I'm attacking. Or I feel like Aiden is really headhunting and I need to do a good job protecting this side. That's a side that in reality I should be worried about most because my knee shield is doing a decent job covering this side if his knee's grounded and I'm here, okay? So, similar nature, we are gonna go after this arm. But if I put my foot on the ground and I try to go, what's happened? He's gonna flatten me out. Now, because we can use Kimuras to get out of this position, we'll get to it later. That's like what they happen in the UFC fight. But if I am attacking, I want you guys to go after it. So, my knee, top knee, my left knee, is to slide across his hip as I think about pulling his arm to me. I've got my butt up off the ground again, but instead of getting on my elbow like this, I hide my elbow underneath my body. So really I'm on my shoulder and that makes this grip. I can keep it away from this way. If I go after like this and I'm loose, Aiden grabs his own hand over the top of my legs and pulls up and he submits me, okay? That was a big problem for me in the beginning when I started attacking Kimuras. Oz would just grab his own hand and submit me. I don't like that. So we go after it. It keeps it away from him. Later we can turn this into a sweep. But my favorite way of finishing it is I keep his shin in his hips, settle my back to the ground again, similar to closed guard, and I just rotate my whole body and finish. That's the attacking one. I'll go over defensive in a second. But I want you to think we're in a good, if I'm neutral to Aiden, I'm in a good defensive position. I have my top arm framing his shoulders. My right arm is doing a good job protecting against him getting to my head. If I flatten one of these out or get rid of one, I'm gonna have a problem. And then once I want to attack, I'm not grabbing. It's like I'm hooking and anchoring, especially to his top shoulder. I think about pulling myself in and wrapping his top arm through, settling into my grip, keeping that tension in his hips, and adding that rotation. Let's start with that one, and then I'm gonna go in from when we have to use it in a defensive way. That makes sense? Questions? Fuck it up. I lose my knee shield and how we can use the Kimura to sweep and finish him. Okay, so let's say Aiden cleared my half guard, he's coming to my head, and one of the things I like to do is as a self-defense thing, I'm gonna hook that arm, and because I like to have my hands close to my head anyways, I do the best I can to get this hand in front of his elbow. If I lose this hand, I am pretty fucked. I've exposed my neck, I exposed my back to a certain degree, I've got a problem. So if you guys are failing at that one initial point, then this is gonna be a null point for you. So make sure you get that hand there. Now we're doing something similar, battling it to getting that Kimura grip. As you get better at this, you'll find that Kimura grip shows up pretty easily right off the bat. And again, I'm doing a pretty good job keeping it away from him. The fact that his chest is on my back, I don't have to worry about him necessarily reaching through and grabbing his own hand, though that might be something he might do. Okay, now the fun part. I'm gonna use the act of attacking the Kimura into a sweep. And how I like to approach this is I like to almost start forcing him into my side control. So I open my legs, and I get my top knee to start pushing him that way. As I do that, I completely change the angle and turn him into a sweep. Now we could finish in Kimura trap or dirty Kimura, or traditionally, and if you're fast enough, I put his hands on the ground, walk my hips all the way around his head, and I finish in a Kimura here, or the leg over the head. Exactly. I mean, that whole sequence was exactly the whole sequence in that fight. If you guys watched that fight, it was a beautiful finish. One of the best Kimura finishes I've seen in years. And it was, I just love that whole sequence. If you get like you lose your half guard, you get passed. If I can get 2 hands over that arm, I have a great opportunity as a Kimura. You could also do this old school. Let's say I'm here and I decide to go old school and attack that Kimura. I lose my knee shield. Okay? I do the same thing, make my leg go dead, and start turning my hips and getting out of the way. It's almost I'm getting chest to chest on Aiden. Aiden will hit that roll, put that hand on the ground, and my fat ass will swim around and get the Kimura that way. I prefer the dirty Kimura because I don't have to do as much work. Last time, the dirty Kimura, same thing, boom. I force him into a pass. And now I just go belly down on his arm, and I just finish the Kimura right from here. I like that one a lot because it's just pressuring his shoulder, very hard to defend, and it's a quick finish. Does that make sense? I love that sequence. I think I talk so much about the Kimura. I think if you guys get good at using that Kimura as a tool, that's one of the best ways. If you just get that Kimura grip, you're in side control, shitty half guard, whatever, if you start rotating against that shoulder, it does a pretty good job sweeping him and then submitting him. All right, go. Oh. So when I'm here, like, I may be strong enough to get Aiden over, but in reality, it's not going to happen, all right? I almost want Aiden to, like, get over here. See the difference? Now it's very easy for me to turn my chest over. So it's odd, like, being perpendicular is actually beneficial for this particular situation. If you are connected in a half guard or that flattened out half guard, you're in a strength battle, and it's actually not easy. And if I am in a strength battle, I'd rather use rear kick. So let's say I'm in a flattened out half guard and I have a Kimura grip. I'm not gonna try to submit it. I'm gonna try to push it into his hip so I can get my body away again and use it to go that way. The tool changes. So my suggestion is work. One more time. I'm here, okay? I get rid of this leg and I start walking my feet opposite. I wanna get this leg out. So I use my top leg to walk him that way, and I'm starting to go the opposite way. That's what makes it work. Yes, no, maybe? I go.